Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. I tell you, you guys, the news is just so fluid lately. You don't know where it's going to end up. So, wherever the news goes, that's where I go. Oh, man. Okay. So, um, sorry, that was my allergies. Okay. Um, well, let me say hello to a few people before we get started. All right. Well, look who was first. Gwendolyn Daniels. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And I think I'm gonna hey Dorothy Ross. Let me see here. I was looking at something on my computer when I noticed that Baron was coming on. But if he does not appear soon, I'm off to bed. Oh no! I'm sorry. Um, yeah, it's just been so fluid with the news lately. Um, that guys, I put a lot of pressure on myself to to you know do as a certain thing. I just say that a certain thing, a certain way, and sometimes it just drags out. And I mean, I could have come on a while ago, but I'm just like, a lot of things that you would probably want to wait until tomorrow. I'm just like, nah, I feel like talking about it. So I kind of do that to myself. And I know sometimes and you know what, guys, I swear I wanted to be ready about an hour and a half ago, but I'm just like, nope, it's not ready until it's ready. Um, Thank you, Connie Balmer. Thank you, Connie Balmer, for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. So, anyway, since it is ready and it's ready, well, let's just proceed, shall we? Let me get rid of my face out the corner there. And, okay. So, Chicago Public Library, check this out. And thank you to the squatty that posted this. Placing a hold on Spare. Well, the Chicago Public Library only has 308 copies in use, and they seem to have 1,696 people waiting in total. 6 people waiting per copy. Wow, okay. So for every copy, there's 6 people waiting to pick up their copy of Spare. Let me see. Yeah. So there you have it, you guys. Spare in the Chicago Public Library system is a big hit. There you go. Um, and of course, people like Miss Seeley are supposed to be in church reading the good book, but instead they are consuming their copy of Spare. Sheila Clements McKay, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. I'm trying to go easy on my bell because someone said that they ride the train, I think it is, and they're wearing their earbuds. And yeah, I don't want to, I know that could be like jarring. So I'm trying not, I actually got it a little further away from the microphone. And I hope that helps. Okay. So there you have it, the Brown Daily Herald. What I love about Spare is that so many newspapers, so many libraries, so many individuals are posting about their experience with Spare or their excitement about Spare. It has such a universal appeal. And I just want to know who's going to buy the movie rights. Or shall that be an Archwell production? Interesting. Review. Let's see. While Prince Harry tell-all memoir Spare is filled to the brim with scandalous anecdotes and royal family gossip, the book truly shines in Harry's honest depiction of his journey through grief, healing, and ultimately belonging. So, hey, Helene, I'm so glad you're here. So, by the way, Helene, I think Willem Alexander is in the Caribbean. Is that right? Now that I'm going to save for tomorrow. I just hope I don't forget to talk about it tomorrow. And people always say, well, why don't you write yourself a note? Okay. And then if I can't find the note, or if I don't remember I had a note, yeah, we'll see how that goes. But thank you so much, Sheila. Let me take that off the screen. And yeah, so I'm so excited. I'm so excited because there has been these periods of drought where there's not a lot going on with the Sussexes, and so otherwise we just, at that point maintain community and our mutual admiration and love and respect for each other. And then you have periods like this, feast or famine. Well, I'm enjoying the feast. I mean, there's a feast for the eyes, ears, everything. So, good times to be had. And just, I'm like on this high that I've been on since I'm gonna say since the docu series. So again, oh, and no, I'm going to even go back further than that. I'm going to go back to the Spotify. And of course, it was disrupted by the Queen making her transition. But once we got past that, and gosh, that was hard. That was a very difficult period. But once we got past that, then it was onward and upward. Okay, the hype is far from over. If you still haven't read Prince Harry in his own words, get to your nearest bookstore online, and I'm sorry, on order online. And it should be right, and order, or what am I saying? Bookstore or order online. Wow, a grammatical error from Penguin Books on Twitter page. But yeah, so that's another way to do it. So either go to the bookstore or make a visit online and get that book. Oh well. Um Speaking of which, I don't know what happened with the information I passed on about the book, dear Lydia and Sherry Ware. But I will look at those messages and reply very soon. But yeah, sorry about that. I didn't even think to look at those today. But yeah, so anyway, whatever we can do for the people who did email me, um, we'll do what we can. For some of you guys that are outside of the United States, there's a big question about whether Amazon actually ships to those locations. But if they do, we may be able to help you out. So, um, yeah, so going forward, for those who have already emailed me, then, or, you had a conversation with Sherry or Black Queen or um, Lydia, we're working on that. Okay, I'm just kidding. They're working on that. Lydia, don't you love the way I said that? They're working on that. Well, I guess I did a little something, not a whole lot, but I did pass on the message. So, because I know how I am, let me go ahead and do this while I'm thinking about it. Take a quick look at my oh, there we go. Take a quick look at my email. Okay. Oh, okay. Yes, there's. All right. I do have some more emails to look at. I won't do that now, of course, but I see that I do have additional emails. So I'm going to leave that up so I'll make sure I get to it. Oh, boy, I tell you, being a baby boomer is not easy. It's not a matter of your intention as much as what you remember. Okay, so let me mute that other screen and let's get on with it. I have the best of intentions. I just don't always remember. Uh, oh man. Yes. If you sent it, then I forwarded that information. I did. Let me see. But if there's something new, I'm going to check for that too. All right. So let's get on with it. And if you have anything else to add to that, please put it in the email. Um, Especially if you have already emailed, just put it in the email because I don't see everything on the comments while I'm doing the live stream. So, okay, let's move on then. Hey, Church Nelly. Susie Q. Black Queen says, Baron, I have no info from Charles Lambert. Do you? I don't recall, but Charles, if you're listening, make sure you email me and I'll put that email address up again. And I can't check it right now, but I will this evening, I promise. And I'll see if I can forward that properly. Okay, let me see here, and thank you, Black Queen, for asking. And Black Queen, you have my email, right? I'm gonna put that email up again. So just to make sure, I'm gonna put that email for Royal Sussex. I'm gonna pin it to the top of the chat. But you guys, I promise you, I have been very laxed with my emails. So if you send something, it's at your own peril. It's at your own peril. Um, yeah, but I'll do the best I can. But I have several emails, and this one in particular is set aside just for Royal Sussex because I get a lot of emails and it gets crowded. Okay. But like I say, I do have the best of intentions. So I'm going to post that to the top of the chat and then I will get on with it. Okay. Okay. So there's that. You can read it there, or I shall have it posted to the, or pegged. There you go. I will peg it to the top of the chat. Okay. Pin message. All right. I think we're good. All right, so thank you, everybody, and let's hope we get that worked out. Oh, Charles, thank you so much. You're always listening. I'm so glad for that. Charles, are you in South Africa, I think? But yeah, we'll get that worked out. So yeah, Charles, if you haven't emailed me, do email me, and I'll get that sorted for you. All right, so there you go. Another round of who the hell is this person? I ain't Googling her. So if it's in a red box, what does that mean? If I put a red box around it, then that means that is someone else's quote. So someone on the on the Twitter, posted that earlier. And because I don't want people's Twitters flooded unnecessarily from the hate listeners, I usually omit their name and their handle and everything. But they have some amazing quotes, and I do like to share those with you. I don't know who this person is. I I don't know what her association is with anyone, but Caprice claims Prince Harry and Meghan make her want to vomit in scathing rant. Okay, you guys, you're probably wondering, well, why are you sharing this? Because I have a theory right now that they have reached the bottom of the barrel, that they are combing the streets, looking for anybody who has had any monicum of fame, any type of 15 minutes of glory that they can quote. But do you notice there's no real big names? I think after this thing with Jeremy Clarkson, that a lot of the people who otherwise may want to, you know, go after people. Oh, in Dominica, okay, thank you, Lambert. Uh, who may want to go after people are kind of standing down or hesitating or thinking twice because Spare exposed a lot of the dirty dealing with the tabloid press. And so I think a lot of people who would casually, like, I'm going to give you a good example. Remember Joan Collins? Now, Joan Collins had some choice things to say about the Sussexes, and or actually about Meghan. But yet, when she was on Pierce Morgan's short-lived chat show that time, the one where he tried to have like a daily or evening or weekly talk show, and it didn't go far. I mean, he had to scrape the barrel just to get people to sit there with him. But because he's had a long friendship with Joan Collins, he did a This Is Your Life type of show with her and went over her career. And it doesn't hurt her at all because the exposure helps her with her various product lines and such. But for Pierce Morgan is clout chasing, right? And so he asked her very pointedly to make a comment about Harry and Meghan. And what did she do? Nope, I have nothing to say. She pretty much let you know that she learned her lesson because she got dragged so fiercely the last time that she tried to go there. She got dragged so fiercely that she decided it was better to keep her mouth shut rather than to risk her brand by going after the Sussexes. So I think that, I don't know to what degree or what the extent, but aside from pretty much tabloid trashy writers and, some aging relic like that woman with the mental health agency, they can't really find a lot of people who want to go there, which is a good thing. That is a good thing. So it's always going to be someone like this person who we've never heard of, or maybe she hasn't been heard from in about 20 years. So, where that's concerned, I think we're making progress. I really believe that we are making progress because when you get to the point where you have to bring up some old has been like this to make comment, or you have to drag in some person like that mental health lady who, of course, has received money from the Prince's Trust and such. It's not like the institution and the media is without resources. But if you have to go all the way to let's say South Africa and find Nelson Mandela's granddaughter to try to stoke the flames, then I think that means you're not necessarily in the driver's seat anymore. So let's take this as a positive. At least I want to look at it as a bit of a positive in that they are kind of running out of people to be critical of the Sussexes. And in particular, mainstream people seem to have seen the writing on the wall and decided to abstain from unnecessary conversation about people they may have never met or have never spoken to. Okay, well, in Prince Harry's case, I'm pretty sure he's met quite a few of these people, but he doesn't have any type of connection or relation to them other than perhaps they were at a function or whatever. So I think that may be a little progress. I'm just going to look at it like that. Recollections may vary, and some of you guys may think I'm just being overly optimistic, but I'm starting to see a pattern. At least I believe I see a pattern where they are going further and further down the scale of importance to find people to say stuff. So, in particular, this woman, Prince Andrew allowed Dancing on Ice Star. Oh, there she is, Dancing on Ice Star Caprice to sit on the Queen's throne during a Buckingham Palace date when they briefly saw each other in 2000 and let her steal a decorative bowl. Ooh, I tell you. So she's a dancing on ice person. And, and by the way, I think the Queen's throne this inset there, I don't think that's the one at Buckingham Palace. I think that's the one that's over at the Palace of Westminster. But either way, the principle is still the same. I see that they are going very low to try to find someone to talk crap. So right here, Andrew and Caprice dated for 2 months in London in 2000. Duke of York met Dancing on Ice star at dinner party and invited her to the palace. Motto then set him up with American Monsieur, a friend who he dated for years. I wonder who that is. Okay. And let's see. Prince Andrew dated the model Caprice and let her sit on the Queen's throne at Buckingham Palace during one of their dates. It has been claimed. I wonder how many people and to what extent sitting on the Queen's throne. Um, ugh, I hate to think of it. The Duke of York, 60, met the American lingerie designer, 48, at a dinner party, and the pair dated for 2 months in 2000, reports The Sun. So yeah, so this is what this is her chance to try to big herself up, I suppose. I guess sitting on the Queen's throne didn't take her exactly where she thought it would. Let me see. What is Caprice most famous for? She's a well known lingerie model and has appeared on more than 200 magazine covers, including Vogue, GQ, Cosmopolitan, Esquire, Maxim, FHM, swimsuit issue of Sports Illustrated. Okay. Thank you, Kathy G. I never heard of her, but looks like she had, past tense, a pretty vibrant career, and now she's probably living off of some residuals or whatever. But good for her. But keep Harry and Meghan's name out of your mouth, and maybe you get to keep what little bit of you know accoutrements that you have. So pretty tacky. Let me see. She's been okay. All right. Hey, Mo Shannon. Thanks for being here. Hi, Mad World. Let me see. Caprice has ties to Andrew. Enough said. Thank you, Mad World. You're right. Let's move on. Okay, so here's a couple of other people that Andrew has placed in seats that are normally occupied by the Queen of the United Kingdom and Commonwealth and Northern Ireland. The Shame of Thrones. Well, who can forget Ghislaine Maxwell sitting in the Queen's throne? And then, of course, there's Kevin Spacey. And then there, of course, is Epstein sitting right in the seat where the Queen loves to plop down after having a spirited game of cards in her log cabin that nobody knew she owned. I still can't wrap my brain around the idea that the Queen has a cabin on the Balmoral estate. But while they're out shooting at some food, I guess it makes sense. All right. So again, to protect the anonymity of some of the people who have tweeted publicly, it's done. I've read the 407 pages of Prince Harry's spare. My God, how I'd enjoy marching into the royal properties, arresting all those responsible for leaking stories, conspiring with the press to destroy Harry and Meghan. Likewise, I'd love to see the press held accountable. Now, he had to take those tweets down. Examine the numbers down there at the bottom. That is why he took it down. This is a middle aged man, very little hair, very stout, kind of heavy set, and self admitted nerd. When I say nerd, he is into all kind of sci-fi stuff, which of course is cool. I love a good sci-fi thriller myself. But this individual seems to like the Sussexes, or at least are okay with the Sussexes. He read the book, he rather enjoyed it. But the tweet that he made, this is one of the things that causes problems for people, is that they tweet about the Sussexes, and then suddenly an anonymous person is in the center of a big storm of hate from derangers and royalists. My tweet about Spare has been deleted. 90.2 thousand views, 1,813 likes, 23 quote tweets, 222 retweets, and a few positive responses. Many trolls commenting, mostly all blocked, but all screenshots as evidence. So this guy wasn't taking any chances. And because he's had enough problems, I decided to block his information. But there you have it. This is what happens when you are not exactly a squatty, but you're okay with the Sussexes. Now, again, another person plucked from obscurity for the sake of this very aggressive $1 billion hate campaign. So this is one of his old tweets right here. Again, he's not exactly a royalist, and he certainly is not a squatty. He's just a person who seems to be very balanced in his views. And I went, yeah, took a little stroll back in some of his past tweets. And right here, Piers Morgan wants a final showdown with Harry and Meghan. He thinks it'll be good for him and them, get it off their chest. I think they're both delusional. I'm sorry. I think they're both delusional and as bad as each other. Little tip here: if you're going to chat crap, I don't want to say a word. You best be squeaky clean. Ahem, ahem. And of course, he added some images of Pierce Morgan with some of the kind of sleazy lowlifes that he's been hanging with over the years. So, enough said. I think that just about does it. And over here it says, I should have been clear. I deleted it. It was getting too much. And frankly, I don't like letting trolls win. So at the end of all of that stuff that he tweeted here, he actually, and that's a screenshot on the left, and this is his what he put in place of the screenshot on the right. And then here, after many people thought that somebody in Twitter deleted it, he wanted to make it clear that he deleted it himself. But I guess his phone was blowing up or whatever, and he just did not want to bother with all that nonsense, so he just took the tweet down. But he was very quick to acknowledge the fact that he did take it down for that reason. So all in all, a good guy. And I didn't go so far back in his Twitter history, but from what I've seen, I like it so far. So there you go. Not exactly a royalist and certainly not a squatty, but again, just someone who suddenly found himself in the middle of a storm just because of all of the hate directed toward the Sussexes from the institution and from the tabloid press. Now, right here, speaking of winning, Meghan and Harry bolster Archewell with new hires promotion exclusive. That I'm going to talk about later. I was so busy with everything else, I totally forgot to go back to this. But uh, I know that Petal spoke about it in length yesterday, I think it was. So if you guys would like more information until I tackle it, you can check out Petal from yesterday. And of course, as per usual, Petal did an amazing job explaining it in detail. And but yeah, it just goes to show that the um, Sussexes are evolving, growing. Archwell seems to be in a transitional period with the success of the Archetypes, with the success of the docuseries, and of course, the success of the book. So there's a lot going on with Archetypes, and let's not forget this summer there is, I'm sorry, not Archetypes, but Archwell. This summer there is going to likely be the premiere of the Invictus documentary or docuseries. So we have that to look forward to. So Harry's got the Better Up coming up. And then, of course, in the near future, I hope, or maybe this summer, we'll have the Invictus to look forward to. So they are going to have a very, very busy 2023. All right. So we are, oh, why is that one blank? Here we go. And right here, comment. Harry and Meghan are at it again, daring to speak their truth with all that has been thrown at them. Can you blame them? So, this right here is a university newspaper, the University of Stirling student newspaper since 1969. That is, I guess, I don't know. Oh, yeah, it's in Scotland. There it is, publication in Scotland. So, again, the young people, the 18 to what, 35s, that's the sweet spot for the Sussexes in terms of adults. That is the sweet spot. Always overwhelming support from that particular age group. And then, of course, as you get older, then it kind of, drops off with the baby boomer pensioner crowd. But that is the sweet spot right there. And that universities like Sterling have something like this in their school newspaper or student newspaper, rather. It just goes to show the appeal. And with Harry's book being as big as it is, I'm telling you, this is a great time for the Sussexes. All right. Now, this nonsense right here, I cannot tell you what is going on. The Prince and Princess of Wales, Kensington Royal, hashtag Kensington Royal, our early childhood shapes the rest of our lives. Shaping Up, coming soon with the Center for Early Childhood. Now, that is Kate, I suppose, with some heavy filters on those rather frail tentacles that she calls hands, and or appendages rather. And you can see the engagement ring. So I'm pretty sure that's Kate. And right there it says, what shape is, I think it is, what shape is. And curiously enough, they found a black man to feature in this book. And I guess it's a book where children are supposed to identify the people in their lives, their family. I don't know. So it's like a teaser where you get a chance to see what she's been working on for the past 10 years, right? She's been around that family for 20 years. She's been working on children's minds for 10 years. And with all of that, she's come up with about 5 questions. So I guess that's question one is, what shape is, then it's open for interpretation. And this little montage that this little vignette, this is it us? Is that us? Okay, what shape is us? Really? What shapes us? Okay, what shapes us? All right, I get you. What shapes us? I could not understand what she wrote there. Okay, oh, you know what? Shaping us, hashtag shaping. Okay, got it. Thank you. I thought that was is. Wow. Well, I tell you what, that certainly is not our Duchess writing that, is it? this another one of those attempts to mock the Sussexes? Is this another attempt at mockery by having her write this? Oh, God. Anyway, you guys, I don't know what this is for. I'm sure it's for something to do with kids. And she opens up the book. She goes through about 4 pages. She writes in the book and then she closes the book. So, again, it's like a little teaser about what's coming up next. Oh, poor Kate. All right. So, let's get to the meat of it, right? This is what's happening on the social media right now. They are getting dragged, dragged, dragged. They are getting dragged, dragged, dragged. I mean, the toes of their shoes are going to be all worn away. Their clothes are going to be tattered uh, because of the way they are being dragged. So, even the National, which is a Scottish newspaper, Prince William and Kate Windsor food bank trip leads to publicity stunt accusations. Accusations, to say the least. Kate looks glam in hot pink Hobbs London coat and matching Hobbs turtleneck that she paired with wide leg navy pants. Okay, wide leg pants nearly touching the ground. Again, I think she's trying to be someone she's not. And then also, you'll see right here in the red box, that means I'm quoting someone. Empty project, empty project, empty visit. People need food, not a 55-minute photo op visit. Kate doesn't know what the she is talking about. As usual, these two are really missing the zeitgeist. So again, that is a quote taken from the social media, and you can see Kate all smiles as she walks into this food bank. And then right here, the lady mentioned about the generous donation they received, and Kate Middleton literally said she's just learning how to do, and that was it. She said she's just learning how to do. And so when this lady was trying to, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. When this lady was trying to, tell her what's going on, she wanted to make it clear, I'm not really here to learn anything. I'm just here to move these canned goods around and get my photo taken. And then I'm up. I'm going back to one of our 4 houses. So don't try to teach me something. I'm just here to look. I'm here to look. I'm here to show off my hair extensions, right? And I'm going to smile. And then I'm out of here. So what's up? Oh man. Shows have been criticizing Meghan for donating Archie's old clothes to the African kids, yet William and Kate went to food bank empty handed. How about that? How about that? And of course, well, let's go right here. Is this what you wear to a food bank? Is this what you wear to a food bank? Who goes to a food bank dressed like this? And then I told you guys the other day, did I not tell you guys the other day? I said, you know what? They are going to wear themselves out. They are going to wear themselves out. When they went to, oh, that mental health place, the one where Mumbo said, um, talk therapy doesn't help everyone. When they went there and I saw how worn out that they were looking, this is the Keeling season, and they have been working really hard to justify their existence. So much so that the strain is really showing on Kate's face. And when I say the strain, this is an unguarded image. This is lacking the usual filters and airbrushing. I'm sure it's from a video, a still from a video. But yes, did you notice that? Did you notice that? She's looking awful. She looks awful. She looks worn. And for someone who has a cook, who has cleaners, and also have nannies at home, I can't explain to you why she looks this awful. But she does. She looks awful. This is a, what, 41-year-old woman? This is a 41-year-old woman. Yeah, well, you know what? This is the thing. There's certain limitations to that, as evident by some of the people in Hollywood. There are limitations to that because if you do too much, it starts to show. And this person needs a lot. So I'm not saying that she's ever had it. I'm not saying that she ever will. But if she has or will or whatever, it's going to take a lot to take the edge off of what's happening right now. That is just it's unbelievable. It is remarkable that in spite of everything, and I'm going to tell you guys, I don't feel sorry for her. I really do not feel sorry for her because ever since the Christmas thing, I have had to take notice of what she wears and when she wears it and how she wears it. Because this is the old Mary Poppins couture who all of a sudden has decided that she needs to look like someone else. And if it was just to a nod, or if it was just to flatter, then I would say, okay, fine. But this is someone who I believe is trying to be offensive. This is someone who is trying to mock the Duchess of Sussex. And so for that reason, I don't have a lot of sympathy for her, if any at all. And then right here, this is really bad. This is bad. You guys, I'm telling you, they are being dragged from sea to shiny sea. You have Kate pushing a trolley around. In the US, we call them shopping carts. So she's pushing her shopping cart around. She's bagging up canned goods and stuff. William is doing the same. They have a list, and you can see the determination she has whilst wearing this designer ensemble, including stilettos, at a food bank. Even let me go back one more time because there's so much to unpack here. The car is about 100 feet away from the door. So they always park a distance away so you can get the walk, the photo op walk to greet people. It helps to convey a sense of action, right? So they drive past the place and park so that they can get out and do the walk, the photo op, the perp walk, if you will. Not to say that they're perpetrators, but they do the perp walk to the door so that they can click, 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 click. I think there were like 7 photographers. And this was like a big, oh, we just stopped by a food bank. This is so offensive on so many levels. And then you can see William giving a little smile and a wave. After what was reported to be 55 minutes, it was over. Kate got a big grin on her face. You can see it from behind. She has that big grin on her face because she cannot wait to get the hell out of there and get back to the comfort of one of their several homes or the helicopter that's waiting nearby. And it all reminds us of what?
give words and comfort, but we are thinking about you the whole time, and we really care about what's going on. So
sometimes it got more than financial.
Well, if we can give you the odd smile here and there, that's important. So I'm sorry we can only come and give words and comfort, but we are thinking about you the whole time, and we really care about what's going on. So
sometimes it got more than financial.
Well, if we can give you the odd smile here and there, that's important. So
So there they go again. There's William again, giving a little smile and a wave. They brought nothing. They've actually done very little. This was not a roll up your sleeve moment. Walmart and Kmart. Walmart and Kmart to work and show people that they are not lazy. I saw, there is a reason Betty didn't meet her for the first 5 years of dating space. What they are doing is just sad. Yeah. Shelly L says, "Hi, Baron. I just got here. Why is Kate dressed like Meghan again?" Thank you for the super chat. Well, I tell you, let's go back. Let's go back just in case you missed it. Um, it started with them supposedly having the best of intentions. Now, you guys, Celibici, I listened to Celibici this morning. Celibici said that they did a big article or whatever in People magazine. There was no link to whatever charity this is. There was absolutely no link, and they brought nothing with them but cameras. Seriously, they brought nothing but cameras. No food, no money, and they did not even forward the information. And from what Celibici says, it takes a while for them to even add this to any of their social media. It goes to a newspaper or a magazine before it goes to their social media. Success. And then right here, I find a photo op involving a princess handling tins of food destined for people with no money, particularly revolting. Imagine if journalists hammered the glorification of food banks by people who will never need to use them rather than workers on strike. Got that? Like I said, they are being dragged mercilessly on the social media for this, and they deserve it. Look at Kate talking and just holding cans of food. And the reason why I took this series of screenshots, I want you to notice how she's standing there posing, a nice wide open field. There's a table in front of her, and then the guy leans in with the camera to get the shot. And then, of course, she gets the hell out of there and go and pose someplace else. And the fact that the public is okay with this. This is worth 350 million pounds a year. If I hear one more person on television say, well, they do charity work, they're not raising 350 million pounds. They're not raising 350 million pounds. And where that's concerned, again, this idea that somehow they're bringing tourists, it doesn't bear out if you look just across the channel. If you go from Dover to Calais, you'll find out it doesn't matter. They are not bringing in tourists. Thank you, Elaine Parker, for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. So if they're not bringing in tourists, if they don't forward information for charities, if they're not bringing food, just cameras, even if it was 110 million pounds instead of the actual figure around 350 million pounds that it takes to maintain the royal family every year, even if the number was smaller, more than a third smaller than what I said, Um, is this really value for money? Is this worth the pomp and circumstance, all of the exclusive privileges that they have? Is it really worth the money? Somehow, the United States managed to get by without having all of this nonsense um, with public funding and donation. We open up shops and restaurants and hospital wards. We open up all kind of stuff, and we don't need someone to come in there grinning to make a mockery of it. So Kaiser at Celebichy says, Princess Kate and William arrived empty-handed to visit a Windsor food bank. Now, on the left side there, Kate is leaning on the shopping cart, having a big smile. Literally, that shopping cart, and she wasn't the only one. William had one as well. It was a prop. It was a prop. That was it. It was all fun and games and a prop. This whole thing was just a big stunt. They didn't really do any work. Now, the lady said to Kate in that photo, she said to her, it's really nice that you don't have to use your brains. This is just being physical. And notice how Kate smiled. Notice how she smiled. Oh, that was right up her alley right there. Oh, you mean to tell me that I don't actually have to do any thinking? And God knows she was glad she didn't have to do any public speaking, because we all know that that's a disaster. If she had to address anybody about what was happening publicly, we know where that goes, right?
People who aren't necessarily reaching out, who are struggling, who perhaps don't feel they can reach out, or the fact that maybe they haven't realized that addictive behaviors have sort of established.
Have you ever had a dreams that you want him to do you so much you could do anything? Have you ever had a dreams that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
So, and Celebichy today, Saturday, I love Celebichy is on Saturday. They actually mentioned about the mumbling, about an event recently where Kate, the one at the Buckingham Palace about the child development. And she said, one of the ladies said they had to listen to it repeatedly over and over again before they could really decipher what she was saying. But they said she literally mumbled through the event. It's only like about a minute of video from that event. And the real root, if you will, with this child development thing is that they're not there to fix anything. They're not even there to really raise any money. They're only there to bring awareness. It is to bring awareness about child development. All of these people, these so-called experts that she has brought together under this umbrella of child care or child mind, whatever it is to bring awareness. They're not going to reach out and help anyone, but it's a chance for her to look maternal, to sit at a table with children, to sit at a table with the parents, to sit at the table or on the floor with children and parents, so that she can pretend to be interested in something that she could care less about. She doesn't know facts. She doesn't know figures. She don't know anything. It is the ultimate photo op, publicity stunt. She knows very little. She does very little. She shows up, she mumbles a bit, and she's out of there. And for that, the public is going to pay 350 million pounds a year to maintain her lifestyle, along with the rest of the people. She brings a special accessory to the early years meeting, which she debuted at Harvard. And that just really makes my behind ache, the fact that Harvard, one of the greatest institutions of higher learning ever, and they were used by the palace, by the royal family, so that they could say that Kate went to Harvard. Oh, she went to Harvard. Oh, did you hear? She went to Harvard. Oh, really? She went to Harvard. Yeah, she went to Harvard. And then they write an article, I think it was People Magazine. Again, it's in red, so you know this is someone's quote. A notebook, a simple basic notebook, a 762-word article about a simple basic notebook. It just dawned on me that after the Boston trip, the palace can truthfully state that Kate went to Harvard. I choose to believe that this was the sole purpose of the whole visit. Meaning, of course, that they only went to Boston so that they could say that Kate went to Harvard. Other than that, this earth flop, it could have happened anywhere. I think the first clue that it was nonsense was the fact that the first day that you couldn't even get John Kerry, who's a big environmentalist, you couldn't get the Kennedy, what's her name? Caroline Kennedy. She wouldn't show up. Either one of them wouldn't show up that first day. It was raining, it was miserable, and the people that they were supposed to award weren't even invited to the event. They bring them to Buckingham Palace for a 2-day whatever, or not Buckingham Palace, Windsor Castle, because apparently they have been looking at the backlash on social media. Oh, thank you so much, Sharon Neesmith. Thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Yeah, boy, I tell you, could she be any less qualified for this position? But you know what? If you want someone who is docile, someone who won't speak up, someone who won't think, then they've come to the right person. They come to the right person. All she has to do is sit there with that very dim gaze and mark the passages of time until coronation day comes. Not Charles' coronation, but her coronation, when she will sit side by side, oh God, with him, if they last that long. But if you want a mannequin, you get a mannequin. And that's what they sent for. They sent for a mannequin, and that's what they got. Shelly L said, yeah, okay, she went to Harvard. Please, maybe a drop off of some DoorDash. Yeah, they probably did a little DoorDash to help supplement the trip to Boston. They went to DoorDash, or either that, or perhaps they went to some of the the students and had them write out some speeches or something for them. It could have been anything nefarious, I'm sure. William and Kate showed up empty-handed. They did bring a videographer. Oh, isn't that what they always accuse the Sussexes of? They brought a videographer, a reporter, and 8 or 9 photographers. Sadly, they brought no food donations. At 41, Kate laughed when they told the pantry runs on donations. At 41, she says she's just learning finally. This very disrespectful, very disrespectful. And again, they are being dragged on social media. So the demographic that they are losing, young people, which is who is supposed to sustain the royal family well into the future, those young people are the ones that are reading this. Oh boy, how clever, how clever. But I'm telling you guys, they are going to be paid back in full for this nonsense. Helen Cole, thank you so much for the super sticker and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Yeah, they are going to be paid back in full for this nonsense. They will. This is going to come back to haunt them, this and many more. But I told you guys, they are not going to last doing this. And when I saw them at the first couple of engagements, I knew they could not maintain it. I knew at some point they were going to fall flat. Now, I thought they were just going to stop going out doing things, but I didn't expect that they would do something as foolish as this. But I knew something was going to go wrong, because when you're trying to compete where you don't compare, when you are trying to compete, there is a huge opportunity for failure. And so with them working so hard to try to offset the book, offset the docuseries, this was bound to happen. Sharon Davis says, Baron, that is why their videos are so short. How long can you hold a pose with a package in your hand? I love it. I love it. I promise you guys, I'm like, they cannot sustain this. There is no way all of this outreach and work is going to go on for long. I figured they would get tired first. I didn't know that they were going to go and commit a huge mistake. I mean, this is what I thought was going to happen. I thought they were going to become exhausted and strained by the schedule and by all the attention. Well, as you can see, it is wearing her down. And as for him, I'm not sure. Well, okay, look at his face right there. I can see it now. He's also about to collapse from the strain. But they can't keep this up. They cannot maintain this illusion. That's impossible. It's not based in reality. You can't all of a sudden get up and work, whereas usually you're out just running around with whomever you're running around with, I'll say coyly, or taking the kids on a bike trail behind wherever, hoping that the neighbors don't see you. Let me see. Joan Lawman, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And Loretta Goldsby, thank you so much for the super sticker and for watching Royal Sussex. And by the way, Joan, thank you for being a member. And also, Jeanette Lavalley, thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Hey, Mary, you haven't been on here for a while, have you? I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for being here. And yes, Kate is aging rapidly. Now, as I said, there has been quite a bit of backlash on the social media. The Royals have gone food banking. How fascinating. Rather, so food grows in food banks, just like money grows in money banks. No. So, as you can see, there's a little cartoon here. They're making fun of the Cambridges, but or the whatever they are right now, the Wellses. Madam Curiosity, thank you for being a member, and also thank you for the super sticker and watching Royal Sussex. And MOC, thank you for the super sticker and also watching Royal Sussex. Okay, so, and then to show you again exactly what's happening on social media, check it out. I've got 15 million quid around my neck. That's a quid for every person living in poverty in Britain. So a nation of 66 million people, and you got about 15 million people living in poverty. And then let's not forget the working poor, or should I say the low income working class that are working several jobs or actually have to live in someone's spare room because, they could never afford to get a place of their own. The living circumstances for the average working person is pretty bad. The limited amount of affordable housing. So I know today I was listening to Anne, and she was saying that they were saying that pensioners need to go back to work. And I have a thought about that. If you guys remember, when was it? Oh gosh, what is her name? Liz Truss. Didn't Liz Truss mention something about bringing in immigrants, about bringing in asylum seekers or whatever, so that they could actually work? And then at that point, they were like, "Okay, girl, you got to go." But I want to know, it was either her or someone else in the government that mentioned the fact that, you know, going against Brexit, that you're going to have to bring people into work. And that, I believe, is the reason why they're trying to encourage pensioners to go back to work, because they don't have enough people. The United States, Canada, Japan, Korea, all of these places with big economies, right? They don't have enough available labor. There is such a labor shortage. There are so many positions available for work, and there's no one there to work those jobs. So when you hear people pouring into the southern border, I know I sound like a lunatic, but we need workers. You got that? We need them. Britain needs workers. And by trying to raise the age of retirement is so grossly unfair, when all they have to do is get people documented and get them working. There are people who want to do the work, let them work. And people who live on entitlements and benefits who don't want to work, then ignore them. But you got to have somebody doing this work. The economy depends on it. So that's my theory. I think it's just because there's a labor shortage. Dina Cardoso, thank you so much for being a member for 10 months. I just saw that out the corner of my eye. This is why I have to open up a second screen, because I miss stuff like that. For whatever reason, the StreamYard does not share that with us. Hi, Misty Blue. Misty Blue, I put your link up there for your channel. They do keep hitting a brick wall at Donna Reed. Oh, that's for someone else? Their hearts are not in this? No, it's not. It's obviously posing, photo ops. It's a shame. All for this archaic institution. Yeah. I hate to hear them say, well, they do charity. You're not doing enough to pay off the public for. I mean, if them doing charity actually brought money in, then I would be like right on board with that. If they worked tirelessly, if they actually did the kind of work that they pretend that Princess Anne does. Princess Anne does not work that hard. Harry even mentioned Harry talked about the list in his book. He talked about that. And from what I recall, it didn't look so good for Princess Anne. She's supposed to be the standard bearer for hard work. And even she doesn't work that hard. According to Harry, the way they count those engagements, it's nothing. You can bank on the Welleses. Can you really? And look at that photo they have of Kate. You guys thought maybe I found an unflattering photo. You guys thought maybe I somehow doctored that photo or something like that. I did not. Look at the one that's in the newspaper right now. Look at it. Look at it. Look. Look at that old lady. Take a look. No, don't you dare turn your eyes away. Look at her. Look. I said, look. Do you see what you all did? Do you see it? By making fun of her, laughing at her, mocking her, you all have made her get up and go out and do some work. And now look at what she's turning into. Look at her. Do you see what you all did? Oh, take a look at her face. You all did that to her by calling her what is it, Doolittle Duchess, and what was the other one? Well, anyway, that is what you all did to that poor lady. She was doing just fine, pretending to be busy, but then when she actually had to get up and go out and do work, she has aged years right before our eyes. Now, here, of course, is.
And so we can only come and give words and comfort, but we are thinking about you the whole time, and we really care about what's going on. So
sometimes it does more than financial.
Well, if we can give you the odd smile here and there, that's important. So
Notice the head listing to one side. The last time I saw an object that big listing to one side, I think the Andrea Doria had got hit by a torpedo. That was the last time I saw a head listing to the side like that. Or did the Andrea Doria have, like, what happened to that boat? But anyway, that ship began to list to one side because it started taking on water. Water, liquor, I don't think it matters what beverage it is, but it began to list to one side. Just, port to starboard, whatever, it just started listing. And I noticed that when you give her too much information, when you actually stop her from grinning and using her hands, that head start listing to one side. But yeah, so that was the famous visit to the Ukraine Cultural Center. And you can see that they have lots of boxes of food and stuff that they use as a prop to make it seem like they're busy. Now, right here, someone posted this, not I, but someone posted this. William and Kate, we rely on Food Bank to put on the table, but we pay to put food on their table, and it's not been a toast. So there you have a contrast between them cosplaying at the food bank and then, of course, the big table at the Great Windsor Hall. It is quite a bit of a contrast in the way they live and the way they make a mockery of other people. But this is all, I'm telling you guys, I just got a feeling that when they get back into their Range Rover, it's a big laugh. It's all about posing for the camera, and then they're out of there. They didn't ask anything, they don't know anything, and they don't care. Whatever was mentioned to them has come and gone. If a staff person doesn't address it, then it didn't happen. And we all know that their staff does very little. They're too busy opening up the gifts and presents and things that were meant for Will and Kate that they keep and take home themselves. And then right here, Leslie Streeter says, this is why it's important to have people of diverse backgrounds and knowledge in the room. That's not one not one person said the optics of this are bad. Bring some groceries so it looks less opportunistic. Means they're surrounded by the wrong people, which is something that a lot of people have pointed out, myself included. I even did a video about the lack of diversity at Kensington Palace. That lack of diversity. You have one person of color, and that person just happens to be a driver. And that person is not even in alignment with the rest of them because that was the last minute decision to bring a person of color into the room. Other than that, you have a bunch of people that all seem to be of native English heritage, except for Jason Knopf, seem to be. I'm sure some other people that are not English born there. But the point is, they all seem to look and act alike, and they all seem to be jolly good friends with one another. And this team of people, past, present, and future, not everybody is still there, but this team of people could not even put together a visit to a food shelter, a food pantry. Those people could not even put together a trip to a food pantry without causing the situation to erode into an embarrassing photo op. The simple truth is that Harry and Meghan are more at ease, more connected, and a huge asset to the monarchy. But for one thing, people tend to like them better than the bosses in the castle. They seem to be much more in touch. Now, that's an old article that I grouped with the comment above. And then, of course, the third image on the right side, Britain isn't eating, food bank. Thousands are going hungry because of benefit changes. Call for urgent action. Now, this link right here, that was not included with their People magazine. As a matter of fact, according to Celibacy, there was no referral to do any help for anybody. It was a photo op and they went home. It was a photo op and they went home. And then there was a story in the Daily Mail there on the left side. Quit the nattering. Will teases Kate during food bank visit. And there's Kate with that big, broad, open grin, and William pretending to, stuff a bag to help people. Will teases Kate as they help at food bank. Then she mocks his trolley loading skill. I mean, they were there having fun. They were there to have fun. It was a fun photo op at a food bank while Kate is in stilettos, mocking Meghan. I mean, she dressed like Meghan to send a message, whatever you can do, I can do better. Yeah, people struggling and hungry, and you're laughing. What does that say up there? Let me see. Laughing for a photo op. Really? It's not funny when you're struggling to feed your children. Another quote from social media. And then, of course, they really are intent on recreating the Marie Antoinette moment of mocking the less fortunate with the let them eat cake scenario. Who thought turning up at a food bank empty-handed for a photo op was good optics? Not to mention the cost to the taxpayer for the upcoming coronation. So you got this big photo op, and you brought no food. You're laughing. You're running around shaking your head. you got a videographer with you, and you have photographers with you. This is the stuff that they mocked the Sussexes about, right? Having a videographer, having a photographer. They don't make a move in public appearances like this without it. But somehow the rival court in Montecito is not allowed to do any type of interventions like that. And it's okay. But for them, of course it is. Now, Prince William wants to break the mold of royal engagements by raising money for communities he visits after, I don't use that M word, forced him to start from scratch on modernizing the monarchy. So that was back in November of 2022, right? November of 2022, William seemed to be focused on fundraising, right? But as Clara Peller would say, where's the beef? Where's the beef? Where's the beef? Where's the beef? Some of you guys are old enough to remember Clara from the Wendy's commercials. Clara Peller said it best. Where's the beef? Clara is still trying to find the beef. Because if you're looking for it, don't look to the Welleses because they don't have it. They didn't even bring canned goods, so there's certainly no beef. I had to reach all the way back to the 1980s to make the point. Where's the beef? And Clara Peller was right then, and she's right now. There is no beef. There is no beef.
We can only come and give words and comfort, but we are thinking about you the whole time, and we really care about what's going on.
He's really thinking about them right now. And of course, Cold War Steve with his famous Will and Kate driving past the food bank, driven by, of course, Rishi Sunak and Boris Johnson riding shotgun. So again, another one of those famous images from Cold War Steve. Now, this is the proper way to help. Meghan is wearing a proper pair of trainers, or is that what you call the shoes? Trainers, gym shoes, tennis shoes. And of course, Harry and his brown suede shoes. They both got their mask on. This was during the height of the pandemic. And normally I don't like to use the pap photos, but for the purposes of today's conversation, I'm going to make an exception. But this is how you do it. This is how you do it. Quite anonymously and dignified. No laughing and lollygagging and stuff. And of course, they did not bring photographers. They didn't have a videographer. There was just, people with their phones. Prince Harry and Meghan prep meals during pandemic with former gang members. Now, if you guys might remember, this was the, what was the name of that place? Okay, I think the name of it. But anyway, the staff, is it Homeboy? It was Homeboy, right? The staff was honored. They took the time to see us, hear us, and walk on our journey today. We'll never forget it. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle volunteer at bakery with former gang members. Oh, yes, Homeboy Industries. So there they are at the Homeboy Industries. And do you guys remember this? Do you guys remember this? Every time I think about it, I get chills. But the paparazzi, when they caught wind of this, they couldn't wait to be there. And so they asked the Sussexes, not the Sussexes, they asked one of the volunteers, they said, can you tell us what happened? What happened in there? Did you talk to them? And he said, wait a minute. Aren't you the guys that killed Harry's mother? I'm not talking to you. One of the guys with that very East LA accent, it was so hilarious. When they asked him questions and he realized that they were the paparazzi, he instantly made the connection with Princess Diana and literally shooed him away. No, actually, he walked away. I mean, he just took off. He's like, no, I'm not talking to you. Aren't you the people that killed Harry's mother? Oh, man. Marianne Moore says, majority of Brits seem to be okay with this mockery. It is their yearly 350 million pounds that support the royal family. I don't get it. Yeah, they seem to be okay with it. The only thing better than doing something is pretending to do something. That's it. If you can just pretend. And, you know, when Meghan went to Uvalde, Texas, if you guys recall, it was the media that told people that she was there. She went in there, face mask, baseball cap, and they didn't even take notice of her until she actually laid down a bouquet of flowers. But the people who worked in the kitchen, one of the ladies said, I thought she was a neighbor. And even at this visit, I recall that they were so impressed with Meghan speaking Spanish. They didn't know she could speak Spanish. And there she is, you know, having conversations, asking them things, talking to them. And, you know, it actually raised a lot of funds. If I recall, I think I made a donation. For this one. So a lot of the squatties made donations after this. So it just goes to show there's a big difference in the way you go in there, you roll up your sleeves, and you get the job done in comparison to a little smile and a wave. This was anonymous. There was images that they shared where they actually took the video or purchased the video from the real estate company or the manager of the building. They paid so that they could actually show the Sussexes walking up the steps of the building and knocking on doors or whatever to distribute the food. And the old lady they interviewed, she was a senior citizen who couldn't get out because of the pandemic. And she said she didn't recognize them, but she said when Meghan pulled her mask to adjust it or whatever, she said, I knew she looked familiar. And then, of course, she said the same thing that the nanny said in the video the other day. What I do recall is that I realized she was such a beautiful woman. She said, I think she said, I've never seen anyone so beautiful or something like that, she said. But yeah, so that was the experience that they had that day. Family, we need just 13 more subscribers to get Misty Blue's channel to her next milestone of 500. Well, you guys, the link is at the top of the chat. We have to support our Sussex-friendly channels, so please go over there. I mean, because we need these voices, and Misty Blue has been working hard, and we need the support. So please take the time to click on that link and go and support that channel. Thank you, Lydia. Okay, so moving on. All right, you guys, I said it before and I'll say it again. I just don't get that head listing to one side. This rather awkward, animated, almost marionette-like pose that she has. I don't understand this. I don't understand where or how or what or who. What is going on here? Exactly what am I looking at? It's like a marionette. It's like a puppet. Or either that or what, Nipper? Is that the RCA Nipper? Is that the canine's name? Nipper? I don't understand that. It's like when you have something to say, or if you're trying to speak to her about something serious, you get the laugh, the giggle, and then the head start listing to one side like the Andrea Doria. I don't understand. Here, the head is listing to one side. And of course, let us not forget that that also turned into, what do you call it? She gave us the Last Supper. It's kind of like a Last Supper look, right? That's it's like she's channeling the Last Supper. That's what it is. She is channeling the Last Supper. So and then here, Kate Middleton is reportedly having a very difficult time with stress and anxiety. Well, let me tell you something. If she was a nicer person, I'm pretty sure that she would either get the help that she needs, but remember, she said talk counseling or talk therapy doesn't work for everybody, but she needs something because as soon as things start coming at her, the first thing she do is that head start listing to one side. I'm telling you, it's like the ballast tanks are not functioning properly. Anytime the ballast tank in your head starts causing you to list to one side, something is going on there. Not fit for purpose. Not fit for purpose. You have William with all of those weird facial tics. You got Katie with all of her weird hand gestures and facial tics. What if y'all just stop trying to compete with the Sussexes? What if you try that and then see if that doesn't work out for you? Shelly L says, is supposed to make you look less intimidating, submissive, and interested in what you're saying. Okay, Shelly L, thank you for that. I think it makes her look, what is the word I'm looking for? A little soft in the head, but okay. I think it makes it look a little soft in the head, but I get it. It's supposed to make you seem that way. But if you notice, see the photos up there in blue? You can see one is airbrushed and one is not. One is airbrushed and the other is not. Lots of airbrushing going on. Lots of it. And of course, more of the weird facial tics and head gestures. I'm telling you guys, there's a diagnosis there. I wish that the body language experts would actually talk about those two. Please talk about those two because it's a missed opportunity. I know it doesn't make as much money as going after the Sussexes, but I'm telling you, there's something there. And so if you can take a look at this, she's wearing the coat just like Meghan's. If you remember when Meghan went up to Scotland, she had that coat. And notice that very, shall we say, shady look that she gives to cameras. As I said, I don't feel sorry for her because a lot of this is deliberate. She has even pulled her own child into this nonsense. If you guys remember, not only did they wear the same color that night, but they even brought Charlotte into their game. They even brought Charlotte into it. So you got Zara the tongue ring Tyndall, and you got How Do You Marry a Billionaire Pippa. You got all of them wearing the maroon or burgundy to as a gesture of hostility toward Meghan. This is why I don't feel sorry for her. I really don't. She has made the bed that she's lying in, and she'll have to deal with it, whatever comes. Yep. let me see. Was the Great Burgundy Parade a cheeky swipe at Meghan? Yes. Yes, it was. Cheeky. Deflated, non-injected cheek. Deflated, limp, lifeless, non-injected cheek. Unfilled, sagging, aged and withered on the vine cheek. That's what it was. It's exactly what it appears to be. So again, I say I have no sympathy. And look at poor Charlotte. Charlotte is wondering why. Charlotte is wondering why. And as usual, her brother is diverting his eyes away from the bank of cameras and looking down to the floor. They are literally bringing the children into the shade and nonsense. And I have to tell you guys, this photo right here of Charlotte, when Omid Scobie tweeted this, he actually covered her face. The Daily Mail did not. The Daily Mail was, proud to be a part of it. But it didn't happen by accident. They could have said anything. They could have said, oh, we're wearing this for the Queen, or we're wearing this for whatever. But instead, it was, shared with the tabloids, and the tabloids passed it on to the public that this is a swipe at Meghan. Now, a new picture of Prince William from his big issue selling were released last night to mark his 40th birthday. I said it then, and I say it now, that this was just a publicity stunt. There has been no further mention, no further conversation, or no anything to do with this organization. Now, it's one of those newspapers where you're supposed to, the homeless people will buy the newspapers and sell them to people in shopping districts, financial districts, whatever. And it's a way for them to have money in their pocket. A lot of people just buy them and carry them, leave them someplace or whatever. A lot of people don't even read them, but it's work for them. They're not hurting anybody. It gives them something to do, and it gives them a chance to interact with people. Instead of being homeless and invisible, you have a chance to actually interact. And it's a worthy cause. It's a worthy cause. They're in every big city in North America for sure. So no problem. But William was only there so that he could have a photo op for his 40th birthday, just so that he could say he did something big for his 40th birthday. And then after that, he disappeared. He probably kept the vest as a trophy, the hat, his ID card, all of that stuff. He kept it as a trophy, but he didn't mean to actually showcase or highlight this charity anything further than what he was able to do that day. And what is really offensive to me is, why would you be that close to a dental office and not do something about those rotten yellow teeth? Why would you not do something about those yellow teeth? You're right there at the dental office for you know what's sake. How could you be that close to the dentist and not do anything? I mean, it's right there. You know what I'm saying? And his staff, bless their heart, they ain't good for nothing, but the staff probably arranged this photo op near a dental office because they're all too afraid to talk about what everybody else is thinking about, and that is them yellow teeth, those butter crusted teeth. Nobody wants to bring it up. And so instead, they got clever and decided, well, maybe if we get him close to a dental office, huh? Nothing. I see William has made it to chapter 2 in the Sociopath Manual of Smiling for Dummies. Woo! Yes, he is on chapter 2. Oh man, but how careless can you be? I mean, the staff went through so much trouble to get you that close to a dental office, and you just you don't. You just ignore it. Oh well, they tried. Well, there's always his next birthday. Proof of Prince Andrew's photo is not fake. Definitive evidence that the image of Royal with his alleged victim is undoubtedly real after Duke and allies spent years trying to discredit it. Now, this is reason to scratch your head right here. What is going on? What is going on? Now this is a broader image. I don't think we've seen as much as we're seeing right now. This is a photo of the photo. You can see from the edges that the photo is actually laying on a table or something, right? But it gets better. Yes, it does. It gets better. And when I say it gets better, I don't mean that Jelaine is actually going to go put a bra on better, but it gets better. I mean, it could have been better if she would have put a bra on, but even without a bra, it gets better. And I'm going to show you how. Look at the back of the photo. Look at the back of it. Now, this was in the Daily Fail. This is one of the reasons why it took me so long to get on today, because somewhere out of nowhere, they decided to do this. 13 March 2001, Walgreens 1 hour photo. So whoever developed this photo wanted to make sure that, number one, they would have proof that Ghislaine Maxwell was not wearing a bra. And number two, they wanted to make sure that they got it back in an hour. I'm just being silly. I don't care about a bra. But they wanted to make sure they got it back in an hour. They did not come back in days. They came back within an hour to get those photos. They have unimpeachable proof that not only did he know somebody that he paid 12 plus million pounds to for something that he never did, and the fact that he never met her, but he looks like he did, but also he has given us evidence that Ghislaine Maxwell is kind of sleazy and doesn't wear a bra on occasions. So there you go, you guys. Now, who is responsible for this? Who would want this upstart, this clout chaser, this man of nefarious means? Who would want him silenced at a time like this? Who would have a vested interest in making sure that he doesn't try to reclaim his mantle of the Duke of York, his HRH and all that other stuff? Who would say that your war chest does not matter? Huh? That's right, Mary. That's right, Mary Hiker. Charles. Charles is the one who wants to shut him up. And so it wasn't the Sussex squad. It wasn't the Sussex squad, but somebody thought it was time to shut it down. And so perhaps the calls were coming from inside the house. Maybe the calls were coming from inside the house. But somebody shut it down, and shut it down for good reason, because we cannot have this vicious bowl of jello running around trying to stir up all this trouble just before a coronation. So, Charles, oh, excuse me. Somebody needed to shut it down. So there you have it. Disaster averted. And Chucky wins again. The man with the last word is the man with the deepest pockets. And Chuck has decided to shut it down. And this is the Walgreens. You know, it wouldn't be the Daily Fail if they didn't give you as much visuals as possible. And the photo was taken with a Kodak Instamatic camera. Yeah, that is how the photos were taken, and that is where they were developed. So it wasn't a digital photo. And according to the article, it would have been nearly impossible to to change anything. It would have been nearly impossible. So there you have it, guys. Take it for what it's worth. New proof Prince Andrew's photo with Virginia Giuffre is real despite Ghislaine Maxwell's claim. So you got Ghislaine in prison singing like Aretha Franklin. You got Andrew leaking from his team that he has a war chest and he's going to try to reclaim his power. But then you had someone leaked that information to the Daily Fail in a worldwide exclusive, proving once and for all that the photo is real. In a dramatic move that will enrage his critics, Prince Andrew consults his lawyers in hopes of ending his royal exile. The Duke of York is hoping to overturn his deal. Too little, too late. Your relations with all of the above mentioned is going to be your permanent undoing. Let me see. Fran Cody says, Baron, I have been a subscriber since 2021. I am 74. I came across your show by accident, but enjoyed listening, so I stay on. But toward the end of 2022, I was blocked for commenting. I am so sorry that happened, Fran, but I'm glad you are back. I'm so glad you are back, and thank you for being a subscriber all this time. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Okay, this is why Andrew should have been okay. Let me see. Andrew's receipt sponsored by Maiden Farm. Woo! Thank you so much for that, YM Droid. Oh, man. Well, I guess it's the end of the road for him. I guess it's the end of the road for the sick old man. I mean, rather than have him drag this out any further, it's best to just rip the bandage off and let the air do the rest of the healing, right? It's over, Chubby. It's over. The sick old man has no place else to go. The photo, what is it? The Walgreens photo has sung, and it's over with now. It's over. Done. Capiche. No more, nothing. There's no place else to go. No place. Okay, let me get to the fun part. Let me get to the fun part. Okay, there we go. Let me get to the fun part. All right. Guy in the very quiet, muffled streets of Edinburgh yelled out as loud as he could. That is the very famous location where we heard, Andrew, you're a sick old man. So just to give you a little reference to the geography, the Queen was rolling down the street in her royal state hearse, and the kid on the side saw a group of siblings, an aging group of baby boomers, actually a couple of them pensioners at this point, walking toward him, and he was so overwhelmed with emotion that something welled up inside of him and said, Andrew, you're a sick old man. And then he was plucked from the crowd, thrown to the ground, handcuffed, and as he was carted away, he yelled, disgusting! Woo! Disgusting! I love that. That was like my best day since Christmas. When he yelled disgusting, I promise you, you could hear it as far away as Glasgow. Disgusting! All right. So, Andrew, you have just been given your boarding pass. Enjoy your flight back to obscurity. You have no further claim to your titles. You can just put it back into abatement and, I don't know, go horse riding. And then, of course, there's this, the photo that clears Duke over that situation. This was so ridiculous. I wasn't even going to talk about it, but since the other thing happened with the photo, I thought, why not? They were trying to show how doing something in the bathtub would have been impossible, but it makes me almost puke thinking about it. But, you know, guys, he's done. I think Charles gave him a lot of freedom with the funeral. Charles gave him a lot of leeway all over the place, but now it's time to shut it down. Now it's time to shut it down. Let me see here. Mary H. says, well, Seabairn, this is why the York sisters are helping Charles and William fight the Sussexes, so Charles and William would let their dad back in the fold. I don't trust any of the royals. Well, maybe not both of the sisters. I think possibly one, but not both. One of them I don't care for as much as the other, but I don't think both. Maybe, allegedly. Shame on them. And still, these are the same people who thought it was a great idea to run the Sussexes away and even try to use the Sussexes as some kind of comparison to the sick old man when one has nothing to do with the other. And so I think it's particularly disrespectful to the Sussexes to try to show a false equivalency. There's nothing balanced about that. There's nothing to compare one to the other. Royal Family Live. Prince Harry's gesture shows he feels superior to William. And of course, I replied, because he is. Prince Harry made a gesture in a recent interview that indicates he feels he is superior to Prince William. A body language expert has claimed Adrian Carter watched an interview with the Duke of Sussex and did with Anderson Cooper for 60 Minutes earlier this month. The host had said, you write about a contentious meeting you had with him. Anderson Cooper, of course, said that. Prince William in 2021. So that's how that started. So I just grabbed that part of the thing. But um, listen, I don't care about what the body language expert says. If Harry's body language or motion indicates that he feels superior to William, it's because he is. Like right here, someone said on Twitter, when you are constantly unfavorably compared to an older sibling and made to feel like you come up short by your family, there does come a day when you really look at them and realize that despite all the gaslighting you've been put through, they really aren't anything special. And that's it. One day you take a look at your sibling, at the chosen one, the heir apparent, and you realize that there's no there there. So if there was any spontaneous, unconscious body language that indicates otherwise, then so be it. Because, as Harry said, I've seen behind the curtain and I know how this stuff works. So he is superior to him. He's more intelligent. He's more physically fit, more agile. He has everything going for him. William is so insecure and feels so inferior to Harry that it literally makes him sick. It makes him ill when he thinks about what he's lacking. Every time they have an interview, it's so difficult for William to not be totally offensive to his brother, to try to shade him in some way or the other, because he's the one that feels inferior. He's the one who doesn't measure up. At the end of the day, it's been Harry that has been carrying the weight for that relationship, raising the money, um, attracting people to the foundation and such. Harry's been doing it.
I feel tempted to cry, God for Harry, England and St George. But I really don't want to lower the tone by bringing my brother into it.
One more time.
I feel tempted to cry, God for Harry, England and St George. But I really don't want to lower the tone by bringing my brother into it.
But I really don't want to lower the tone by bringing my brother into it. And then, of course, polite laughing and everything. But the truth is, Harry ranked higher than the Queen in terms of popularity. And the reason why is because there was just so much there. With William, there's no there. He lacks personality. He lacks any type of humor. As you can see, his comedy falls flat. He doesn't have anything. He's just so hollow as a person. And right here, you can see Cummings hailed for handing his OBE back over Toxic Empire. Well, I spoke about that yesterday, but as you can see, the story is still making the rounds, as you can see with the new issue of The National, which is a Scottish newspaper. There's been quite a few people who, over the years, have either refused or handed back their OBEs. One of the most famous I can think of, I believe it was John Lennon. John Lennon accepted his award from the monarchy, but he sent it back with a handwritten letter saying thank you, but no thanks. And I saw that on a documentary where they actually went to the room where they have, medals that were not issued or waiting to be issued or whatever. But John Lennon's was the one that was like a big exception because he accepted it and then he sent it back. He realized that it was the wrong thing to do, to accept it. So there you have it. And Michael Sheen, the actor from Wales, he gave his back. So there's been other people, and then there are some people who have just flat out refused to accept them. Oh, Sean Connery refused? Good for him. Good for him. No, I love him that much more. Good. Yeah, there's been people who have, and of course John Oliver, most famously John Oliver, or should I say the most recent was John Oliver, who was about to get his American citizenship, and they were racing to try to hand him this trinket, and he turned it down. Now, his wife felt differently about it, but he told his wife, he said, look, they got this classism and stuff like that. And I don't think you really understand what it entails to accept something like that. And so, even though his wife was kind of cross with him, he still did not see a reason to accept it. So he turned it down. And even though they asked him not to mention it to anybody, he said, "Oh, no, I'm going to tell everybody." And he has. Okay, a moving piece by James Middleton for the Sunday Times on his beloved dog, Ella, who helped him through dark days and mental health struggles. James reveals sisters, that is, Kate and Pippa, supported him at therapy sessions, and all the family were at Ella's burial. Well, the Middletons had this huge state funeral for Ella, the service companion dog. And everybody has regaled Ella and celebrated and everything. But when it came to Harry and the fact that, his mental health issues seems to stem from the being a spare, but even worse, having lost his mother at such a young age and receiving little or no support, they don't seem to give him any kind of break for what he's been through. Instead, they like to laugh at him and mock him. And even Kate recently just said that talk therapy doesn't work for everyone. It's amazing how, uh, gosh, is it Rebecca? Wait, let me see who wrote that article. Let me pull this down. Roya Nika. Roya Nika. She's the one who wrote this touching, loving article about Ella, the service companion dog, the one that has helped to get James Middleton out of some pretty dreary spaces. Um, the thing that happens when you have come from the Middleton family and you're probably ignored so that they can make sure that the daughters marry a billionaire or marry into the royal family. God only knows what this guy has been through, but I shouldn't talk about it because I don't know, but I'm just speculating. Wait, am I really talking about something I have no real knowledge of? Absolutely no working knowledge? What am I, a royal expert? Oh, TC Sun says, I took a small break for my mental health. I'm surprised of all the late podcasts. Glad I made it. Can't stand Baldy and how he treated Prince Harry. Always talking negative trash about him. Prince Harry and Princess Meghan, ours now. Boy, bye. All right, thank you so much, TCC Son. And you know what? Taking a break for your mental health is very important, and do that whenever you feel like you need to. We'll be here whenever you get back, and I'm glad you did that. I admire you for doing that. So thank you so much for your super chat, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex and being a member of Royal Sussex. Very cool. Still a bargain at just $4.99. Well, so long, Ella. I'm going to have a moment of silence for Ella, the service companion dog. A way to really celebrate the contribution that Ella has made to humanity. Because, when you think about it, When you think about it, don't we all need a Ella? Don't we all need one? So, well, anyway, Ella, this is for you. Duke and Duchess of Sussex, this is my own feelings being expressed the only way I know how. All right, Ella, thank you so much for your service to to the Middleton family and to James Middleton. Yes. Okay, so the other thing I want to mention is that James Middleton has not been without controversy. As you may have heard, he actually made some pretty dodgy products in his marshmallow business. And of course, it's excused because, again, he had a mental health crisis. So all is, okay. But there is no such consideration for Harry because, Harry is married to a biracial woman of African American heritage. And so if he has struggles, then it's very public and he's shamed and mocked and humiliated. But for James Middleton, we just had a state funeral for his service companion. And wait a minute, who is that I see behind James Middleton, who I always suspected may be batting for the other team? But who is that I see behind him? Is that Dan Wooten? Yes, it is Dan Wooten, the same one who used to have the hots for Harry. Yeah, that's Dan Wooten standing suspiciously close to, James Middleton with his service companion. So, yeah, there you go. What a small world it is. Well, can't say that I'm surprised. I could say I'm kind of shady, but I won't say I'm surprised. But yeah, well, how do you like that? Or as Whitley would say from what was that show? Whitley, Small World, Living World, wherever. Dear God, still waters run deep. Oh my God, when Whitley said that, I thought that was so funny. Dear God, still waters run deep. Well, they do run deep. Yes, they do. And with that, you guys, guess what? I am done. That is the end of Royal Sussex for today. That concludes our broadcast day. Thank you all so much. And I am going to find a more pleasant image for us to Oh, by the way, did you guys get a chance to watch the Vanessa Williams? If not, it's okay, but I thought it was pretty interesting. Hope you did, though. It is on the community tab. Also, thank you, as per usual, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. And for those who have made contributions, thank you. And for those who did not make contributions, thank you. Whether you just comment, like, share, and of course, if you like and share other channels, that's also a good thing, as this community of ours has grown a great deal, I believe, since the docuseries Harry and Meghan. I think things have been really growing for the community. So, didn't mean to do that. Let me see. That was today. Yeah. But yeah, so thank you so much, everyone. Also, what else? I think that's it. Let me see. This is yesterday's. Okay, I'll leave that one up there. Nope. Better yet, how about that one? I think that's better. All right. So, any last comments or anything you want to add? Oh, a different world. Thank you. A different world. Dear God, still waters run deep. I forgot what it was, but somebody had did something so funny or crazy, or it was like something bizarre. And she said in that very southern voice, "Dear God, still waters run deep." Oh man. Of course, I love it better when I hear Aretha Franklin. Still waters run deep. Yes, it do. Whoa, yeah. Don't trouble the waters. Leave it alone. Why don't you let it be? Oh boy, now I want to listen to Aretha Franklin. All right. Yes, Linda, you are so welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And let me see. Marie Reed, I didn't really forget. I said I'd talk about it tomorrow. I had put the slide up, and then so much news was coming out that I decided I'd wait till tomorrow to talk about Archwell. But if you want a complete rundown in the meantime, I believe I advised you guys to go to Pedo, go to Facts and 2 Cents, because Pedo had a fantastic presentation about it, but it was just too much other stuff. So I decided to wait until tomorrow. What else do we have here? Looks like Kate does her own her own facials. Yes, it looks like she does her own facials. I agree. She probably uses Clinique or something like that. Wink, wink. Or some kind of Clinique or something. Thank you, Misty Blue. Thank you so much for being here. You guys, don't forget, at the top of the comments, Misty Blue's link is there. So you guys click on that link so we can build up yet another Sussex friendly channel. Oh, you guys have been over there. I see that. Well, it's not too late. So since you're on your way out, go ahead and click on that link, because I'm done for today. It's at the top of the chat, and you can go over there right now and like, subscribe, and share. Right? Go on. It's right there at the top of the chat. Handle your business. Handle your business. Okay. Let me see. What else do we have here? Oh, thank you, Elaine Parker. Thank you for staying up with us. Okay. Oh, let me see here. Let me see. Who last will laugh the best. Prince Harry and Meghan will be above the rest. Come on, Beverly Isidore. I love that. That was very Nipsey Russell. Who laughs Laughs the best. Wait. That's a bad Nipsey Russell impersonation. Not yeah. Is it Nipsey Russell? Yeah, that was the comedian, right? I love Nipsey Russell. Um, yeah, but that sounds like something Nipsey Russell would say. Let me see. Black Queen. Okay, I'm afraid, but let me do it anyway. Black Queen works for me. It's the. I had to catch myself. But yes, I agree. Joseph Berno, the Sussexes are pull back the curtains on this three-ring circus. Okay, that's another kind of Nipsey Russell. Pull back the curtains on this three-ring circus. Let me see. This is my first time of successfully tuning into your live program. Really? Thank you so much. Is it Nene? Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad. I appreciate it. Phyllis Brooks says, good night, Baron and Squatties. And Big Mama says, good night, Baron and Sussex family. Good night, Big Mama. Big Mama, how many flashlights do you have? Oh, what movie was that? That was Big Mama's house, right? Big Mama. Oh man, I love that movie. I like the number 2 Big Mama movie too. The sequel, that was funny. When she put her foot in the door and told that girl, she say, it's a new sheriff in town. Oh my God, that was so funny. You know, guys, it's not a lot of comedians that I love. I promise you, there's not a lot of them I love. But I do love Dave Chappelle. I love Martin Lawrence. And there's a handful. I don't like a whole lot of them. I'm just okay with them. But in terms of my favorites, yeah. And that was a very good sitcom, the Martin Lawrence show. That was very, very good. Very well written. I don't like when a sitcom has bad writing. When the writing suffers, I suffer. And I don't care how much I love a sitcom. When the writing is really bad, the whole show suffers. Let me see here, Baron. Some people may be black, but they are certainly not our kind. We must fight all wrong, regardless of the color of the skin. Very true. Not all skin folks are kin folks. That's true. Not all skin folks are kin folks. Anastasia Isabella. Well, thanks for being here anyway. We had fun, I think, but mostly we dragged the Cambridges or the Wellses, whatever they are now. Let me see. Baron's laughter is so soothing. My favorite comedian is Dave Chappelle, the GOAT. Yes, I love Dave Chappelle. I like a good storyteller. And yeah, I really, really love Dave Chappelle. Yeah, I'm more into a very cerebral type of comedy. The more cerebral, the more I'm into it. But the cheap jokes and stuff, they have their place. But I like a good story with some meaning to it. Let's see. Black Queen says, thanks as always, Baron. We appreciate your hard work, dedication, and loyalty to the Sussexes and humanity on a whole. You are on the right side. Well, thank you, Black Queen. I do my best. I always do my best. Oh, you know what, guys? I don't know if any of you all follow, gosh, what is his name? The one that used to do the Harry and Meghan news. Is it Hugo? Hugo had a great show today where he talked about the messages from the media and how they shape our thoughts and such. And that has been the one thing that I have been trying to convey for the longest is to not let or at least to avoid letting these headlines and these storylines and such affect your mental health, which is why I'm always supportive of people taking time away, because we all have electronic devices. We are followed around the social media just as we follow people. We are being followed by the algorithm, and they are spoon feeding us a lot of pain and despair every day. And it's very tough to develop a good filter for that. But I hope and pray that we are aware of what we're taking in and how it may affect us. Um, my favorite, um, one of my favorite classes was sociology. And of course, sociology is the study of human behavior on a microscopic and macroscopic level. And it's very important to know when people are trying to gaslight you and when there's propaganda coming your way, and ask a lot of questions and such. So let me see. Creative Life. Hugo has his own. He has a Hugo Talks. Hugo Talks. He's not on that channel anymore. I think he either sold it or gave it to Alex, but the channel is called Hugo Talks, and it's a lot of conspiracy stuff. And just as much as he say, be careful what you take in, I'm just as careful with what he puts out. But I agree with so much of what was said on this show today. Let me see if I can find that for you. Um, but yeah, like any other human being, he has his moments too. But it's just a matter of us being very careful what we're taking in, what we believe, how we react, how we respond. And you guys probably know by now I'm a pretty placid person most days, although sometimes things bother me and I will react, but I'm usually very selective about what information I think is so alarming or so urgent. Because, okay, I just put his link at the top of the chat, because you just have to be careful. You have to be careful. The mainstream media, and it's incredible that so much of what he said, I agree with. The mainstream media, they want you angry. Angry equals clicks and engagement, and they want to keep us engaged. Now, a few close friends of mine, I have literally talked them off of a cliff by getting them to reduce the amount of political news that they take in. Most of what happens in Washington, D.C. is not going to affect us from one day to the next. I've been aware of this for quite some time. As much as you guys have heard me support the Obamas, I have had some times when I didn't agree with everything with them, but by and large, I love the Obamas. But when Barack Obama became president, the first thing I tell people, I say, you still got to go to work tomorrow. You still got to go to work tomorrow. But you still got to go to work tomorrow. So my point was, yes, there is room for celebration, but the fight ain't over. The whole idea of the backlash that came out of the Obama's election did not surprise me, because I've lived it before. When we had all those black mayors across the country back in the late 70s and the early 80s, what happened? I would say most of them were replaced by a white mayor, and people vowed there will never be another black mayor in this city again. Now, of course, it didn't work out that way, but there was a backlash. So I lived that before. I've seen it. And just because we have a black president, it doesn't mean that the fight is over. It doesn't mean that everything is going to be milk and honey. There's still so much that has to be done. So that elevation of Obama to the point where it was a fever pitch, I appreciate the excitement, but I think it kind of set people up for a big letdown. Politics is still politics. It ain't ever going to change. I don't care who's there. It never changes. It's always good versus evil, a lesser of two evils. It's always been that way. It always will be that way. And I'm only saying this because you need to be aware that along with the excitement, you still got to go to work tomorrow. Okay? You still got to go to work. You still have to earn a living. You still have to maintain your life. The Obamas are going to be okay. But what are you doing for yourself? That's the point that I'm making. So, just be careful, you guys. Please be careful. Be careful what you take in. Be careful what you believe. Ask yourself, ask others a lot of questions, but don't react with hostility, because if you do that, then you're letting the enemy win. You're letting the mainstream media, you're letting the oligarchs, the unseen hands, you are just turning over your well-being to them to do whatever they will. And you cannot do that, because they will destroy you. And take a note from Harry's book. Do you see how Harry is just very, matter of fact about what he puts out there? He's not banging his fist. He's not turning over tables. He's not bristling with anger. Yes, on occasion he gets a very stern look on his face, but he's not responding with hostility, because if he acts that way, he's giving them exactly what they want. He has to be very deliberate in his messaging, because they want him to act like William. I'm sure there was plenty of that in the past, but he's in touch with himself now. He's fighting for his survival. He's fighting for his mental health. So follow his example, which is why I always say you guys should never be more angry than they are. Because if you are more angry than they are, you're the one that's compromising your well-being. It's not helping them either, because by us acting out with anger and hostility, we are feeding right into that narrative that we are some kind of fanatical group of people that were hired by the Sussexes, instead of people who are individuals who have come together, for a common cause, not always associated with the Sussexes. So that is one thing I wanted to share with you guys. Official Lauren Brown, news is not my friend. Only positive content for my health. I hear you at Light Side of them. Oh, okay. Thank you so much for being here, Lauren Brown. I think I saw you earlier, right? Let me see here. We're going home on Wednesday. No more flights for me. Really? Okay. What else we got here? Observe and be discerning. Very good, Tamika. I love that. Observe and be discerning. Thank you so much. You get a bell for that. Okay, what else we got here? Let me see. Light Side of the Moon says, I watch a lot of cat and dog videos or funny shorts on Instagram, my mental health sanity, or just Sussex, Harry, and Meghan stuff. I need my safe space maintained. Very good, Light Side. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. Let me see. So true, Baron, because I had to back away from all the social media for a while because it had a negative impact. Oh, Gail and Nina, I'm glad you recognized that. I'm on Twitter every day, but you guys, I rarely ever respond to the hostility on Twitter. Rarely. I don't I've been blocked by people who I've never even reached out to. I got blocked by what's her name? Victoria Arbiter. I've never sent her any kind of anything, but she blocked me. I guess she must have come across me, huh? But I never said anything to her. So I avoid that. I really do. Now I have to say that during the presidential campaign in 2016, oh, I was 2022, I was an absolute monster. But with the Sussexes, I try to avoid that because, I don't even want, I wouldn't reach out to most people, that have an official capacity because I don't even want them to be associated with my shade, my form of humor. Not that it's so bad, but just that, they got a different priority from mine. And so my priority, where the Sussexes are concerned, is my subscribers. I call you guys my constituents because, you are the ones that make this channel. So by now, pretty much everybody knows what's here, a little mess, a little shade. And and a lot of support for the Sussexes. But the sarcasm and shade, that is to take the edge off of the hard times. So it helps me. Hopefully, it helps you too. But yeah, if I can just mention that someone has a top on to make them look slimming, slimmer, or what about Uncle Scar? Now, see, one of the things that got me through that situation was when I compared him to Uncle Scar. All of a sudden, I felt better. I was able to name it and claim. I was able to name it and claim it. So once I realized I was dealing with Uncle Scar, then it took the edge off of it. You get what I'm saying? That is my mission, is to take the edge off. So hopefully that's helpful. I don't know, but I hope it is. I suspect it is, but that should take the edge off. But it's not really hostility. I don't really do the hostile thing. I try to avoid that because I feel like with hostility, then the enemy has won. So yeah, everybody's got a certain thing that they fit into. So I and I'm always just like so impressed with like Petal and Sharian, for the way, I mean, Sharian is just so polished, and she's great. She's a great conversationalist, and Petal with the passion, and um Ivy with the wisdom and stringing it all together. And I mean, it's just we're very lucky to have them. We're so lucky to have them, and I'm glad to do something that is so different from what everybody has their strengths, and so I'm glad for that because it means that you always have some place to go, and even though some of the information will overlap, you get a different interpretation, and that's a good thing. So I think that's very helpful. Let me see here. Oh yeah, and Henry VIII. You have Anne, Anita. Now Anita, gosh, Anita is a certain Anita. When I need to say certain things, or should I say, if I'm thinking certain things in my head, and I switch Anita on, and Anita just kind of, I don't know, I don't even know what to describe what my Duke and I don't even know how to describe it, but it's always what I need when I need it. You understand what I'm saying? It's always the type of message that I need when I need it. I don't even know that I need it, but I need it. So yeah, and that's the great thing about the variety is that it's always at the right time. So again, go out and support the other content creators and make sure that you're um, subscribing and do share them. Do share them and try not. Yeah, that's it. That's right. Anish, thank you so much. Try not to respond hostile and get yourself in Facebook jail or something like that. But if you do, I'm just here to tell you, I understand. Sometimes you have to, strike out in order to relieve yourself of whatever you're feeling. So I'm not going to take that away from anybody because it's like with a bully. Sometimes you have to. Oh, let me get Uncle Scar off of here. Sometimes you have to bloody a nose to get your message out there. And so I don't endorse violence, but I'm just saying I understand. Bloody nose sometimes sends just the right message. You don't have to heat up grits. You don't have to put on oil or anything like that. You don't have to, go and get anything so harmful. Just, make your point and keep it moving. Okay? And you'll be all right. Oh, what is that about the York sisters? Let me see here. Georgia Walker says, Baron, did the York sisters have a podcast called Floodlight? I don't know. But anti-slavery podcast, I don't know. I haven't heard of it. Yeah, I haven't heard of that, but sounds interesting. I have to check that out. Yes, thank you, Mo Shannon. Collectively, the Sussex squad is stellar. Well, I love the Duchess of Success call-in show. That is like my favorite thing about Friday is the call-in show. And Saturday morning is Celibitchy, right? I have certain days that fulfill certain needs, but I love Celibitchy on the Saturday morning. I hate when they say they're taking off. Oh, I hate that. I'm like, no. So they got one more Saturday, and then they're taking off again for an unspecified amount of time. So I don't look forward to that. Let me see. Lola says, thanks, Baron. Integrity is paramount where the Sussexes are concerned. Your best work speaks for itself. Thank you, Lola. Let me see here. Sharon was talking about floodlights. It was a great synopsis. Okay, I think I saw that one. I'm not sure, but I think I saw that one. Yeah, I dream of the day I could be as professional as Sharon. Sharon is just, I love the way her show is formatted. I love what she says, and I love the way her show is formatted. It is always so, I usually sit here and I be bum 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 bum. As soon as it comes on, it's just like I'm ready for it. That is always so cool. Thank you for clicking on my channel. Thank you for clicking on my channel. Or is it thank you for clicking on my video? Oh my God, it was so funny. Did you guys see the one where Sharon said, first she said it and then she did like the little record skip thing. And she said, Baron, you're causing problems over here. She said, because I'm not sure if I'm hearing myself say it in my head or if I'm imitating you saying it. Thank you for clicking on my channel. God, I almost screamed when she said that. That was so funny. I certainly didn't mean to give anybody a complex, but yeah, I just think it's so cute and adorable that I love saying it. Thank you for clicking on my channel. Oh, man. All right, you guys, thank you so much. I am going to cue the Ginger Avenger very soon because I am so proud of Harry. I mean, just, oh, man. He is our favorite son. I mean, just so proud of him. Since we have all adopted the Sussexes, I'm super, super proud of both of them. They're wonderful. Wonderful. I could not be prouder. Okay, and I'm also very proud of our Queen of Everything and our Queen of Hearts. Yep. You know, I just thought about something. Do you guys think that all of this is to try to make that laughing hyena scene more like, nah, they couldn't be doing that, could they? Could they really be trying to invoke the spirit of Diana with all this nonsense with the Welleses? Nah, I don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe that they would be that careless to try to create some kind of comparison with nah, I don't accept that. I can't. I don't even, I won't even accuse them of trying to do something like that. I just won't. I won't. Please tell me that's not what they're doing. Please. Please tell me they're not trying to invoke the spirit of Diana with that nincompoop. Nope, 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 nope. I can't think it. I don't want to see it. I won't acknowledge it. I will watch them crash and burn, but I won't acknowledge it. I won't, because believe me, this is all crumbling down soon. They are like on a flight. It's like watching the engines drop off of the plane. It's a disaster in the making. And I knew that was coming. I knew it. When I saw them at that first Keening event that they went to, when I saw them at that first event, I said, they're not going to be able to maintain this. They're not going to be able to maintain this. And what happened? They went to that food pantry and made a spectacle of themselves. They went to that food pantry and they have been dragged all across social media. I knew it. I knew it. Okay, you guys, let's Ginger Avenger, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, yes, for Hugo, you guys, hit that link at the top of the chat. I'm sorry, I forgot to label it. But hit that link at the top of the chat for Hugo Talks. I put it up there, but I didn't label it, but I swear it's going to take you right to his channel. He had a very, very interesting conversation about how the media is messing with people and how they will, cause you to go mad if you allow them. So, interesting conversation or chat. And it was very timely because it was just about everything that I've been thinking or have said. So, hope to see you guys tomorrow. Hope everyone is well. Sleep well tonight. I hope I can get to bed earlier than I have the past few nights, but we'll see how it goes. Hey, who's up tonight? Is Special K on? Let me see if Special K is coming. Nope, I don't see Special K. Oh, okay. Very good. So Hugo is there. And then one last for Misty Blue. I see you guys have been going over there subscribing. Very good. Let me pin that to the top of the chat again. Let me see here. So yeah, if you haven't, please go and subscribe. Misty Blue is at the You know what? I just Sorry, Lydia. I just removed your message. I hope I didn't block you. I just Can you do that again? Oh Lord. I just removed it. Can you put that back? You don't understand, those dots are so close together or something. I don't know. Uh, oh, thank you, Patty Askew. Let me see here. So, replace pinned message. I think there we go. All right, you guys. Again, that is the link for Misty Blue, and we are going to go over there and flood with some new subscribers. And once Misty Blue gets 1,000 subscribers, then they'll be able to use the community tab. So that's why it's very important for that first 1,000 subscribers, because then that gives Misty Blue a chance to promote in more than just one way on the YouTube. So the sooner Misty Blue gets to 1,000, then that will help with promoting the channel. So we got how many people are in here? We still got 995 people. So if everyone here goes over there and do that right now, then we might even be able to get to 1,000 tonight, and we will have another Sussex friendly space to count on. How about that? Right? Right. Okay, wow. I'm sitting here watching the number grow in real time. You guys are phenomenal. I love it. Thank you so much. Oh, we are creeping up there. We're getting better, better and better and better. So, yeah, if everyone here goes over there right now and subscribe, then we will have another awesome Sussex friendly space. Yes. Okay, I'm going to wait a few more minutes to give you guys a chance to do that. Oh boy, we're almost at 600. I'm looking. We're almost at 600. Keep it going. Keep it coming up. Keep it coming up. Don't stop it now. Stop it now. Stop it now. Dun 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 dun. Uh-oh. 597. Come on. Like, subscribe, share. Misty Blue. Come on, let's do 600. We can get that 600. I see 597, 598. Oh, this is happening. I'm all invested now. I'm emotionally invested. I am so emotionally invested. 600, 600. Okay, you guys, 600. This is why I love the squad. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have subscribed already, but last chance, please go ahead and do that while I am still at the top of the chat. I am done for the day. I am about to log out. It is so cold outside. I need to go and start up the hoopty. Always good to let it run when it's cold like this, but yeah. Okay, we got 600. Not bad, not bad. Let me see. 604, 604. Can I get 610, 610, 610? Come on, 610, 605, 605. All right, all right. Oh, thanks, Patty Askew. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. Now that's what squads are for. In good times, in bad times, I'll be on your side forevermore. That's what squads are for. And I never thought I'd feel this way. Oh, 607. 607. We're having a subscribe-a-thon. There you go. We're having a subscribe-a-thon. I mean, I want to believe that we can get to that 1,000 right now, but I know that so many of you guys have already subscribed. So it is still 957 people in here. Go ye to the top of the chat right now and click on that link and then get over there and subscribe so we can have yet another stellar, wonderful Sussex friendly channel. Okay, do it. I mean, can you really still be here and do that at the same time? Okay, so I am going to say goodnight, you guys, and 612. One last time, go ahead and hit that link at the top of the chat, and let's get another channel over that 1,000 mark, and then we will have another Sussex friendly channel to turn to. There are some other channels that I'm checking out right now that some of you all may know about. I can tell from the comments, but I know there's one for sure I need to check out, and maybe I'll mention that one tomorrow. Right now I can't think of the name of it, but I do have it saved. So that is my homework. I always get homework. Let me see here. Oh, VC, you just got here. Let me see. I just came on. There is already a comment under my initials. Wow. Really? That's interesting. Interesting. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wait. So that is uppercase VC. And, that's also uppercase VC. Oh, all right. There's another VC. Huh. Okay. All right. Well, welcome. This is awkward, right? This is awkward. It's kind of like wearing the same outfit. Awkward, isn't it? No, I'm VC. No, I'm VC. No, I'm VC. I've been VC. Okay. Awkward. Wait, awkward. Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why this turns me on. This is kind of like twins, right? For some reason I'm kind of turned on by the notion. But Okay, without saying anything else, Church Nelly, you don't have to answer. But without saying anything else, hands up, twins or not? Have you or have you not twins? Okay, I better go because I'm starting to get weird. Well, have you thought about twins or not? Okay. Oh, oh man. Yeah, we might learn more than we expected to ever learn about some of our squatties. So I oh man. Um okay. All right, you guys. I'm having fun, but I should wait a minute. It's been almost 3 hours. Yeah, I'm finna go, y'all. It's been almost 3 hours. I will see you all tomorrow, hopefully earlier rather than later. And woo. Wait. Let me see here. Nacho, Boris, Kojo, Morris Chestnut. Oh man. Listen, Church Nelly, while I wouldn't mind hearing some of your fantasies, I don't want to have any fantasy that may have to put me on some type of penicillin drip, okay? Um, I don't want any fantasies that may cause me to be hospitalized. Oh man. I don't want any fantasies that is going to be some moral violations or something. Okay. So I am just going to pass. I appreciate whatever it is you're thinking or saying or doing, but I want no parts of it. Okay, I gotta go for real, y'all. It's been fun, but I'm fixing to go. But thank you so much, and thank you for supporting all of these Sussex friendly platforms. That is so important, and it is greatly appreciated. And thank you all for trusting me to do this work. That is the most important thing. And I will see you tomorrow. Okay. All right. Good night, you guys.